Okay, people. I think I am live now. So what we're gonna be doing today is that I'm gonna play against both teams of the Challengers Tour. There's a team Kramnik and there's a team Polgar, and it's the competition is basically between them. So I'm obviously gonna try and win my games, but the competition is to see whose team will get the most points. But I will not focus on that. Obviously, I will try and play some good 3-minute games and see if I can provide some entertainment as well. And my first opponent is a woman GM Shu Jiner from China. I think, if I remember correctly, she's about 2400. Obviously, the rating here on the site is represented by the fact that she hasn't played a lot of Blitz here. Anyway, I won't keep her waiting any longer, and let's go. And now I did the old trick where she made her first move, and then I wait. Game was originally supposed to start at 8 sharp, and now I waited for her to make a move. Okay, so I waited to make a move till she was gone, evidently. So I will let my clock run a little bit to make it a bit more fair. I am, after all, here to teach the kids some chess lessons, not to hustle them if I can afford not to. So I'll be going for a Najdorf here against the youth, which seems like a questionable strategy to say the least, but there you go. E6. Yeah, she's thinking a bit here. Usually have the choice between G4, Bishop E2, and F3. Okay, so she just goes for a more standard Scheveningen type of position, which I guess is reasonable. King H1, I'm not so sure about. I think you should go A4 there and sort of force Knight C6. Yeah, she's 24,400. Okay, A3. Then I'm getting easy development. Bishop E7, Bishop F3, Knight D7, and I should be fine. Next, I'm thinking of moves like Rook C8 and also Bishop C5. Knight B6 to C4 is also an option. G4, then I would go Knight C5. So as long as she's not in time to do that, then I have some positional advantage, and Queen D2 is really inviting Knight B6. I don't see any reason not to go for it. Knight C4. Guess I'm just gonna keep developing. Rook FD8. Perhaps intending D5 and Knight E4 at some point. May work tactically. But in general, it's hard for her to find active ideas here. Yeah. B3 clearly is the plan, so I think it's time for me to strike in the center. So we get a sort of a turbocharged French for me here, where I already had knights on e4 and c4, and that clearly gives me a pretty pretty serious head start. c3 I guess is the best chance, but yeah, b3 I think I'll just go knight a5. Or I can take first as well. Maybe that's even more precise. Don't know what is more precise. Anyway, let's be a little bit more flexible and go knight a5. If rook b1 I can take on d4, or even knight b3. The point is, after bishop d4, cd4, this one is attacked right at the end. And that, by the way, is the first arrow I've ever drawn. It's a milestone. Okay, knight b3. Should be winning on time here regardless, but I'm gonna try and finish in style. e3, opening up for this bishop towards the king, and now, oh, that was a bit too much. So my first arrow was good, the second and third not so much. Rook a2 is the only chance here. But I think my opponent, she's probably clearly better at classical than Blitz, and in the end this was fairly comfortable for me. Okay, so let's now see if I can open this new window successfully. I think I actually could. That's amazing. My next, so by the way, I'm gonna be alternating which team that I play. So Shu was from Team Polgar, and now we have Prag, Praganana, who's gonna be playing the next Champions Chess Tour event. I think he's only 15, third youngest GM of all time, and the winner of the first Challengers event that was, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So he's obviously going to be a very strong opponent. And he goes for the London. Wow. That was unexpected. What should I do? Let me go for my old favorite. The system that... Oh, seriously, I've actually run into this in some banter blitz before. So annoying. Okay, whatever. It's not that this line is absolutely great for white, it's just that I was hoping to play a more sort of classical game. But you can't always get what you want. What should I do? A6, preparing b5 maybe? Trying to stay flexible. Maybe d5 is the move? I guess I can take it. d5, knight e7, I guess e4. You can go e4 now as well. Yeah, whatever. We're trying to play a complicated game here, but I have a feeling, considering the strength of my opponent in this particular game, that I may eventually regret it, or I may not. You know. Anyway, what I'm doing here is somewhat artificial, but if I can get moves like knight g6 and b4, I should be fine. And a3 feels a little bit soft to me. Now we'll go b4 next to develop my bishop with tempo, and if d6, there's always fe6. e5 is not on the cards because of knight d5, and if knight d2, I will probably castle and look to the future with at least some confidence. So bishop c4 was probably clever. Now if bishop c3, queen c3, knight e4, there is there's queen g7. Then I can give a check on g5. Also ed5 is possible. ed5, bishop d5, queen g5. Doesn't quite seem to work. Okay, I guess I'll just castle. If fe6, fe6, bishop e6, maybe I can sack the queen. Could be, but I think I'll just go king h8. And with my lead in development, it seems fine with threats of knight e4 as well. So quite logically, he doesn't go for it. But obviously I need to speed up. Okay, we'll go h5. I think if e5, knight g4 is fine. But I'm a little bit worried that my attack on the queen side is not really getting going. Queen e4, I think. Oh, I just blundered. Oh. Huge damage factor here. Bishop f3. d7. It's nothing. cd6. Then knight e5. If rook b8. ed6 seems to win. If d5, there's bishop d5. Guess I have to go for it. He could have just taken back on d6. Okay. Now maybe I have some chances here now. Worst case, I'll try and flag him in a dirty way. I'm teaching the kids about chess, not manners. The more you think, buddy, the happier I am. Especially when you come up with a line that gives me a decent position. So it's gonna go down to the wire, this one. Obviously right now there isn't a lot of time to... Yeah, it wasn't ideal to have to drop the knight back. But right now it comes down to hustle. Okay, there's a fork. Bishop f2, I think. We'll threaten mate. Because why not? Oh, that's why not. Damn it! Playing really sluggishly here. Okay, let's go for this pawn. You can't think! You can't be thinking. Bishop c3 was there. Okay, we'll change. And then flag. Why was that move not... Flag Aruski. Oh. Okay, he was too slow. He played very well, but he was too slow. I don't know, I felt like there was a... At some point there was a glitch there. Okay, not a good game. Not a good game. Just embarrassing, to be honest. I was outplayed, then I was better, then I blundered. And yeah, then I had to dirty flag him. But what can you do? Okay, so now we have Janshaya Abdumalik from Kazakhstan. She's women's or girls junior world champion a few years ago. And think she's rated well above 2400 at least. I think almost 2500 in classical. So she's evidently a strong player. And I get my first white game. So I'm gonna go for e4 and see what she does. Because I'm not really sure what her repertoire is. And yeah, we're back to Team Polgar. And it's not a theme that all of the girls are going to be for Team Polgar and all of the guys are going to be for Team Kramnik. That's not how it's constituted. I think there's a mix. It just happens to be that way for the first couple of games. And we have a pretty traditional closed Rue Lopez. She has gone for bishop b7, which is a bit surprising. Which line should I choose here? I don't know. Let's go for this one and then knight c3 next. Maybe this wasn't very good. b4, knight d5, there's knight a5. b4, knight e2 maybe? Oh, there's knight a5 immediately as well. Okay, then she doesn't give me a lot of choice, because I could take on b5 and win a pawn, but I don't think it would be worth it with my scuffed pawn structure. Let's go c3. I think b3 is a reasonable option here, giving up a pawn for some. And this, I think I'm fairly happy to give up the bishop and just play on the fact that hopefully my bishop is going to be strong, and once she tries to do something about that, well, first of all, I can win a pawn with queen b4. I think d4 maybe even stronger. So if she takes, I take back. Well, there's d5, but then knight c6. Looks very promising for me. Maybe there's rook f c8, because I was thinking rook a c8 and then ed. Maybe that would be strong. I think now after a5, I don't think she should be concerned with b4. I have a lot of good options here, like rook d1, e5. Also ed, probably forcing. I'll still ed fine, knight f5. It's not so clear. I'll go e5. Seems very logical. We'll go h3, I guess. Bring the knight around. Take on e7. Now she could take with the knight. I didn't need to give her that opportunity. But I think regardless, I'm better here. But I probably haven't made the most of my chances. Knight h4 looks suspicious to me. Put the knight in the center, and I can meet queen g5 with queen g3. I think this was at the very least an inaccuracy. We have a possible line here: queen g5, queen g3, takes, knight f5, takes, king e2, and I should be better in the rook ending. So let's see if that happens. I think she has to take now, otherwise e6 just falls. Maybe rook f8 first. Okay, and this exact line happened. Wow. Oh, that was a bad pre-move, because she could have gone rook. But now I think I'm, at the very least, much better. I'm probably winning. Rook d6, rook d7, then rook f7 and e7, and I just win. Because she has no counterplay, and I'm just running to e8 and then f8. There you go, all those arrows, and it actually happens in the game. Okay, I feel like that was was the best game so far. She played very well up to some point, but yeah, I think knight h4 was bad since I got to centralize in such a good way. Okay. Now, is this right? Yeah, I think this is right. Now we have Leon Messi. Yeah, this is the new, or the latest iteration of Chess 24. We have GM Leon Luke Mendonca from India, another very strong young player. I don't think he's quite as good as Prag, but certainly very talented as well. And he's from Team Kramnik. So we're just gonna get it going and vary the openings, obviously. Oh, c6. He does the weird move order for the Slav. The only worry about this one is that bishop f4 is possible, but I'm sure he has something prepared here. And here the trick is knight e4, queen c2. If queen d4, there's e3. So apparently this is the way that people play. I wish I knew how to play against it, but I don't. e3, there's bishop f5. How does that work? Bishop d3. d4. dc4. Bishop e4. Bishop b4. Queen e4. Queen b2. He wins the rook, but I may trap his queen. But it probably doesn't work. Okay, let's go f3 first. I should know these lines, but unfortunately I don't. Unfortunately, the idiots in the back are not here today. So, if there are any problems with the stream quality, that's the issue. Okay, interesting. Queen a5, so I guess I'll go knight d2, and he'll probably exchange. Or maybe he will go back, thinking that knight d2 is a concession. Who knows? Yeah, let's have some fun. Castle queen side. This probably isn't very good. But then again, where's the fun in playing good moves? Knight d7, I'm not convinced about. Probably should take on d5 actually. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I was thinking if e4, then d4, fe4, e5. But now if d4, fe4, e5, I get the c4 square for my bishop, and that should give me some extra opportunities. Now I think we'll just develop. If he wants to go d4, fe4, take on d4, be my guest. I'm fine with that. But I think he would just lose way too much time with development. Oh yeah, I see the mods are working now. Is there always so much spam? Or is it just that I'm usually not paying attention to chat? I think there probably is. Anyway, now I think he has to develop with g6, but his position feels a bit fishy. I think I'll just go e5 actually. I don't think I can break through in the center, and e5, as soon as I can sort of get the king away from the file, this will just give me a positional edge. And he's spending way too much time here. Okay, now I think I'll go f4, f5. If he'd castled there, that would have been pretty much suicide due to f5. Sorry, h4, h5. Okay, so he has found an idea here, which is a little bit annoying, in that he wants to go for e6 after I move the rook, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it. So I'll just play positionally. If I give a check, are there any tricks? I think there probably are. Yeah, let's try. Probably should just go king f8. Yeah, I was hoping for knight d7 and I had some sick tricks there. But no, you should just run the king. And after I spent that much time, I'll probably have to flag another game here. Hopefully I will be winning on position by the time that I hopefully get to flag him. Queen f3. This, I think, improved my position quite a bit. Okay, this was a bit unfortunate. He exchanges. I will go bishop b4, restricting his pieces. Queen f3. Let's get that bishop in there. Win a pawn. Oh, he just... Okay, I'll trade. That's fine. Bishop goes away. We'll just trade that. King c5 next. Oh, he's fighting well. Fighting really well. I guess all the young dudes do that. But now he's got no chance. I got way too much time here. I don't have auto queen. That's unfortunate. Oh well. That's fine. Okay. So I spoke about... Oh, maybe actually I think Prag was the 4th youngest GM of all time. And Sindarov is the 3rd youngest. But now I'm playing Gukesh from India, who I think was the 2nd youngest GM. And he's still only, I think, 15 and obviously extremely talented as well. So I'm expecting another tough game here. Yeah, no more of this London stuff. Gonna give him a Benko Gambit. Because why not? Wouldn't generally recommend this gambit though. It has the unfortunate side effect of losing a pawn. But it's fine. Oh, that's a problem with castling. That's the problem with castling, yeah. Okay. But you can play another way. You can play with bishop f5, I think. Yeah, I think this is considered to be decent. Bishop g4. He's playing fast, at least. But I think forcing f3 and e4 is a pretty big win for me. So now I have ideas of knight b4, bishop a6, and also knight d7. And he's weak in both of these diagonals. Now a3. I think I'm just going to jump in still. And why did I jump in? Because I'm a moron, that's why. Okay, we'll go back. Okay, that was really dumb. That was really dumb. But it's fine though. I still have some typical Benko Gambit pressure with a solid structure and a couple of half open lines. Now I went bishop a6. And rook b8. Bishop f1, huh? think I'll grab that one. We'll give a check. And this is starting to look pretty promising for me. I think bishop f1 was not good. Probably needed to do something a little bit more circumspect there. Okay, let's take on c3. I think I'm happy to play an ending here. Takes on a6. Take and then take on a3. Winning the pawn back with, I think, some initiative. bc3 immediately. I don't want to take on e2 and bring his king closer to the center, and I think I'll just keep the queens on. And I think with the structure that we have, his king is gonna be less safe than mine. But yeah, anyway, he decides to not to trade queens. I think in both cases he was worse. But I think trading may have been the lesser evil, since it feels like now I'm pretty much just invading. Probably needs this one, but at least I have knight g4. But also knight d3 looks good. Queen c3. Gradually bringing my troops closer, and eventually I should start picking up some material. King h3 seems natural to escape, but I think I'll just start grabbing now. If he takes, I have rook e2. And I'm also threatening knight f4 now, winning the queen. Now I got queen c2. His only try is maybe f5, but I got knight e5 covering everything. The other knight can go to e8 and then to f6. So it should be very safe. e5, I'll just grab. And I think his position is absolutely hopeless here. f5, I can take on e3, but let's just grab as much as possible, right? I like this game. Apart from that knight b4, knight f6 nonsense, I think it's pretty instructive and really the most you can hope for in a Benko Gambit game, where you just break through on the queen side, and then you win because your king is safer and your pawn structure is more solid. Okay. So next game we have is Lei Tingjie from China. She's one of the strongest female players in the world from Team Kravnik, and she's gone d4, and I will just see if I can get the same sort of model game there. Obviously I cannot, since she went for knight f3 there, declining the Benko Gambit, which is obviously a bit sad. Which line should I go for here? Let's go e6. Okay, she goes for g3. Yeah, I don't know what line to play here, so I'll just play something. Bishop e4. Bishop b2, I'll go bishop c5. And bishop e7. I used to play this line back in the old days. I had it against Aronian, for instance. The problem is, I don't think the line is very good. Like in general, white is a little bit better. But it's not that much. And I'm trying to get some sort of solid hedgehog type of position, and after rook c1 I think I can set it up. My knight, only problem is my knight is on c6. Should ideally be on d7 since it's a little bit more flexible there. But I think we'll get around to it eventually. a6. Now this is the hedgehog structure with these four, characterized by these four spines. So anytime you try to go past them, you will be stung by the hedgehog. Okay, she goes for exchanges, which is very very sensible, but now I think I have a relatively easy game. She's still probably slightly better, but my next moves are fairly easy. Don't know yet if knight f6, bishop d6, that works. Okay, we'll go h6 then. Not worried about sacks. Once she goes bishop d3, I will go knight f6. Now I will aim for either b5 or d5. If b5, there's knight a5, then I can go queen a8. Seems reasonable. She's playing very fast though, which is very sensible. Yeah, c6 was probably a good move. I sort of underestimated that. Yeah, and then, sorry, c5 and then c6. I missed c6 while I was busy yapping. Now I probably have to sack a pawn here since I would be very passive otherwise. I need the d5 square for the knight. Yeah, this could be a difficult game. It already is a difficult game, but it could be even more difficult. But at least I got her thinking a little bit on this one. So bishop d4 I'm not so sure about. Now I go knight d5. Oh, she still got knight a5 and then knight b7, huh? Okay, we'll go rook c7, then rook c8. Try to pick up the pawn that way. Bishop c5. Yeah, that's a good move. Oh, and bishop d6 as well. I'm missing everything now. Okay, this is massive trouble. We'll have to hustle. We'll seriously have to hustle this one. But I have hopes. Now there could be problems on the diagonal for her. Queen f3, there's knight e3. King h3, yeah, that's sensible. We'll bring the bishop around. Okay. Let's... No, I missed knight f3. I was thinking rook c1. Okay, I still have it though. I actually saw it in the other line, but I missed it here. But I think this is still winning. gf, queen g2, and there will be mate. Otherwise h5 is threatening mate. But yeah, that was a little bit fortunate. But that's what I learned early about beating very strong players, that they generally don't give up. If there are tricks, they will find them. And I think for all of my poor play in this game, my resourcefulness was very strong. But I have to say she played well. She played very fast and outplayed me up to a certain point. c5, c6 was very strong. And I only hustled a bit better at the end. Okay. I think now we have perhaps the biggest test of them all. We have Nial from Team Kramnik. For those who play a lot or watch a lot of chess online, I'm sure you know Nial. He's one of the strongest, and he's one of the strongest Blitz and Bullet players in the world, as well as being well over 2600 in classical, and I think he's only 16 or 17 years old, so this is going to be a tough challenge. But I think I'm up for it. I will go e4 in this game. And either he's not ready or he's doing the old gambit of waiting a little and then making his first move. No, Abdusatov is not playing. So there are a lot of strong grandmasters, but I think Nial is the strongest. So I think I'm gonna go for another sort of closed Rui Lopez here, as I had against Janjaya Abdumalik earlier. And so I call this closed, while others, like after castles or castles 94 and so on, the game would be sort of more open. And this is a little bit of a weird way to play as white, but I think it's been pretty popular recently. We're trying to develop a little bit more actively with c4 and knight c3. And what should I do after knight d7? I don't know. Let's go bishop e3. Knight d4, I think I'll take. And take on d7. Otherwise, my bishop could be really poor. And here I was hoping... I just missed cb2. How can I miss that? It's like the easiest move anybody's ever missed in the history of missing moves. I would say that not only verges on being embarrassing, that is actually embarrassing. But never mind, we'll try and save it. At least there are some scenarios here where my knight could be stronger than his bishop, which is kind of hemmed in by this pawn on d4. So this could be fine. But like objectively only in terms of saving the game. To win from this position would be a tough ask, even in Blitz. But I'll try, of course. And he's spending... Oh boy. I missed this as well. Okay, now I'm probably just losing. Okay, this has been really an embarrassing game. If I'm not losing here, there's pretty much no skill involved in that. That's just luck. Because I hadn't seen any of this. Just pure disgusting luck. Bishop e5, I guess. Rook d1. Rook c8, maybe. Looks suspicious to say the least. Yeah, he's ambitious. He's not gonna go for the draw that easily. Yeah, rook b1, the problem was queen h2 and then d3. I think that was just losing on the spot, and yeah, I was really worried about rook c8. I'm probably just losing now. Queen b3, there's rook c3. Nothing to be done there. Do I have anything else than queen d7? Probably not. I think anything wins here. Rook c3 or... Yeah, rook c3, queen g4 is maybe not so clear. Maybe rook c2 is the cleanest. Queen g3 is a decisive threat. Can I do anything at all here? I don't think I can. Queen g3 and queen h2 are threats. King f1, queen f3. That's game over. Okay, I have to try and hustle him. Every day I'm hustling. I'm not gonna be successful here, I think. Let's hope he's gonna be slow today. But it doesn't seem very likely. Oh, he gave up a pawn. Trying to be as annoying as possible. Huh, tricky move. Okay, let's see him try and... Oh, rook e7 is not even still my trick there. Okay. Oh, and then I pre-moved myself out of it. Okay, good game. Good game, Nial. But that was pure embarrassment on my side. Like, there's losing, and then there's this. Games where you don't even get going. But still, full credit to Nial. He played a perfect game. Okay, so next game, another Indian, Vaishali from India, as I said. I think she's rated about 2400, and I believe she's the sister of Prag, who I played earlier today. And she is competing for Team Kramnik. Obviously, Team Polgard took the lead now that Nial won, so I'm not rooting for any team, but I'll try and make that the only only loss, so that they win. Anyway, enough talk. Let's play. Gonna go, I think, for the most double-edged line of the Nimso here, where I get these very ugly double pawns. But I do get the bishop pair and some potential initiative in the center. But it generally isn't very good for other than Blitz and perhaps Rapid. D6 is sensible. Usually you want to set up a blockade with the knights of some sort. Castles I'm not 100% sure about, because you do allow potentially annoying pin here. But it probably isn't bad, but I wouldn't have allowed it. E5 now. I think I'm just gonna close the shop. And I'll take on g6. Oh, sorry, on f6. Why not? Knight g3, there's f5. Let's go queen d2 first, maybe? King h7, knight g3. Maybe there's no reason not to go g4. I feel like it may be a bit blocking, but it looks good positionally. I'm thinking now the queen side is going to be fairly closed, since it's hard to break there anywhere. And it feels like I have an advantage on the king side, and thus I should be better. But obviously, considering the close nature of the position, winning the game isn't going to be easy. And so she goes for b5, which seems a bit overzealous to me. Sort of a hyper accelerated Benko Gambit, but I think it's a bit too much. I should probably have taken on b5 there. Okay, now we'll go knight h5 first. We check not to allow the knight to get here, and then I'll happily accept the pawn sack. And yeah, b5 was just too much. Now after c4, bishop a6, I will just fortify my position with c4. If takes cb5, I got two strong passers. And while her king is pretty safe, so is mine. f5, I don't think this works. But desperate times, desperate measures. So I can see where she's coming from here. She's at least trying to open up a little bit. Make my task a little bit more tricky. And bishop a6, yeah, this is very sensible. She definitely chose the best chance here. So I'll go c4. I'm opening up for queen b2, but my king can hide on g3, so I don't mind that. And if rook e8, I will oppose on the e-file. h5, I'm not worried about. I think I'll just bring the rook in. If hg, I can't go fg, but I can also consider other more forcing moves. Now, after rook e8, maybe I could have played f6 on the last move, but I think here f6 is strong. I have a mating threat with queen f5. And then queen h5. And h4, I can hide, but I think I can also just take it. And I'm usually not one for style points, but let's play for the gallery for once. Queen f2, I'll just go king h5. It's not necessary, but a few things in life are necessary, but we still do them. Okay, now she resigned because she was threatening mate there with king g6 with a discovered check, but now after the discovered check I just take the rook, and otherwise I got queen f5 and then either queen g5, queen g7, or queen h5 first and then back. Okay, good game. I think it was instructive in several ways. Probably most of all from the fact that from the way that she created counterplay there, she actually chose to give up a pawn and then two more pawns just to get some open files. And especially in faster games, if you have a cramped position, that can be the way to play. And even though I managed to navigate here, another time it might have been very successful. Okay, so now I'm playing against Sarah Khadem from Team Polgar. I think she's very strong. I am with at least one, probably two GM norms and several medals in World Rapid and Blitz championships for women. And I'll try and go for... Oh, she goes for knight f3. No Benko Gambit this time. I'll try and insist. This system isn't great though, so if she knows what she's doing, it's probably going to be considerably better here. Yeah, this is, I think, the best line that she's gone for. So she's given up the bishop pair, but she has gained a lot of influence in the center and a very solid position. I'm not sure if she played it the right way though, with knight d2 and castling. I think she should have gone for a4 earlier on, because in this case, even though I gave up the c4 square, my bishop that is unopposed on the long diagonal is pretty strong, and thus I should have a decent game. Knight d4 is a good move though. What should I do? Can I go bishop a6? Intending to trade off one of those pesky knights. I think I'll do that. Rook c1 looks obvious. Knight d7, there's still knight c6. So I don't think I can do that. So we'll probably drop off the knight on d4 and then go knight d7. I don't think I have much. I mean, I could make rating moves like rook e8, but I don't think they give me anything. So I'll just trade and go knight d7. And I do have slightly annoying pin here, and my knight can find potentially some good squares, especially c5. I think I should be doing fine. Now if queen b4, I think I'll go rook b8 and then take on e4. So I don't think queen d2 was very accurate. I think now I'm slightly better. Queen a3 maybe. Knight e4. There's b4. It's queen a3, knight b3. This is interesting. I think this is the best move. Also, I got after queen a3, I got rook b3 and then queen b8. Maybe that was better. Activating as many pieces as possible. Now that her queen can go to c2 or d4, something like that, I don't think rook b3 is any good. So I got to take on a4 or e4. I think I'll go for the pawn on e4. That seems more ambitious. Now I think, wait a sec. This is a little bit tricky. Knight c5 I wanted to do, but I'm worried about knight e5. Then if bishop e2, so knight e5, c5, knight e5, bishop e2, knight c6. I'm not really sure if that's... Yeah, that's probably just bad for me. So I can take an e5 there, but then we're going to exchange a few too many pieces for my liking. So I think I'll just go to f6 instead. She can take on a7, which is bothersome, but I didn't see anything better. Yeah, it takes, rook b2. Yeah, she played those very well. Now I'm not better. Not better at all. Okay, let's trade the queens. Then I'll try and blockade the pawns later on. The pawn later on. Okay, queen d4 is sensible. I'll go rook b4. Set up a pin. Queen d3, I think I'll go queen a7. Blockading that way. Rook c3. I don't like that move for her. Seems artificial. Rook c5 now. Now I'm taking over. Okay, she's threatening rook a3. Actually, she probably isn't. Okay, I have to play faster. Rook a3, rook c4. Hoping that works. What am I doing? I thought rook c3 and I win. Damn it. That was an awful calculation error. I mean... Oh, even this works. Does it though? Or is she just panicking? No. This doesn't work. Rook a... What? What? Rook b1... Rook b1, king g7 and I win. Rook a1, queen a8 and I win.